Hello everyone and welcome back to Noia Dev, the series that aims to prove that one developer can create a successful MMO RPG. My name is Dane and this week on Noia Dev we're talking about new spells. Again, last devlog I covered the new skills and spells added to the sword and the wand classes, and this week we're talking about the bow and the staff. So let's start off with the staff. The staff fulfills the role of the healer archetype. While most MMORPGs see their healers call upon a deity or a patron to grant them magical healing abilities, Noia has no such deities, for lore reasons that we're not going to talk about today. So the staff class is instead simply a light-themed class. There's no real deeper meaning to this design decision. I just thought, hey, light gives energy and feeds life through rays from the sun, so that can be the theme. Although this makes the name of the starting skill of the staff, Jinx, it makes no sense now. Hey Google, note to self, rename the Jinx skill to something else. Here's the thing, pick any MMO that uses the Holy Trinity model and take a look at the player distribution across all the classes in that game. You'll find that players pick DPS overwhelmingly more than tank or healer. This is a consistent phenomenon across all MMORPGs. There are many theories on why this is. Healer classes don't do a whole lot of damage, or they're too boring to play, or the anxiety and social pressure to keep the party alive and the crushing fear of failure is too great. I can't do anything about that last bit, but I can do something about the first 2 points. In most other MMOs, a healer's damage is pretty weak comparably, and this is somehow justified by saying that the healing utility balances that out. And well, I disagree. I would say that a healer would have a wealth of knowledge on how to preserve life, and as such, knows all sorts of fun ways to snuff it out as well. So, in Noia, the staff spells have generally the same damage output as wand spells, the difference is how they are accessed. The newest class-defining spell of the staff is called Mend and Maim. This buff kind of acts as a duality between healing and dishing out damage. Each time the player casts an offensive spell, they gain 1 charge of Mend, and vice versa, each healing spell cast, they gain 1 charge of Maim. When either one of these charges reaches 5, a new spell becomes available. For the Mend charges, there is Light of Larceny, a healing spell that's placed on a monster, and when that monster is hit, the attacker is healed. This spell can trigger a set number of times before it expires, and as the spell levels up, that number of triggers goes up as well. For Maim, the player gains access to this big bolt of lightning. What do you mean lightning isn't a light-based spell? No, it's got it right in the name. Look. Lightning. Regardless, the Mend and Maim buff is there to help the staff players with their job. If they're doing a good job at healing, they can toss out a big damage spell every now and then, and if no one requires a ton of healing, they can throw out some damage, with a reactive heal thrown in every now and then to keep the party topped off. Hopefully this adds some more dynamic playability to those that like to play healer classes. We'll see. But what do you guys think? Did I get it right? Let me know down in the comments. Moving on to the bow. Now the bow already has most of its class-defining features. It can move while attacking, its abilities have fast casting times, with Spectral Arrow they can constantly keep up DPS while on the move, and it can make use of traps to keep monsters at a distance. One of the main complaints about these traps though is the players drop the trap at their feet and have to lure the monster over it. This usually results in the player moving too far away and the monster's leash triggering and it resets combat. To help with this, the bow users can now toss the trap a short distance by holding down the skill for 1 second. This way, if the player is preemptively setting up traps before a fight, they can simply toss the trap between them and the monster. And if they're already running for their lives, they can drop the trap at their feet and run away. Some of these traps, though, are a bit overpowered, namely the freeze trap. Being able to simply press pause on a whole group of enemies is admittedly too powerful. So, I'm sorry, the freeze trap is going to be replaced by a slightly lesser skill in the same genre. Sleep Arrow. Sleep works just like you'd expect. It stuns the target for a long duration. However, if the target takes damage, it will wake up. This is to help the bow users stay alive if they accidentally aggro one too many monsters. Wand users will also be getting a similar spell later on as well, so don't worry about that, guys. As the game is currently though, boss monsters can still be put to sleep. That will change in the future, so don't get used to it. And that's it for this week. I didn't really feel like going into a whole lot of technical and code things in this devlog, so it's a little bit shorter than normal. That's not to say that there wasn't a fair share of bug fixes that I had to go through to, make all of this work. Writing all of this stuff did actually introduce a whole bunch of new bugs, and there are a bunch of new bugs on the Discord, so I'm probably going to spend the next 2 weeks focusing on those going forward. And maybe some mini bosses for the Deep Forest map. So all that saying, I gotta get back to work. So, I'll see you next time. Bye.